going to do a water pump rebuild here. This is going to be a 2000 CR 250. However, it's going to be the same for pretty much every bike except for a few out there that have a mechanical water pump seal. These are a lot easier to change. We'll have a video for a mechanical seal one of these days. But I've already got the case pulled off here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our seal puller. We're going to pull out our kickshaft seal. This should be replaced when you do a water pump. It doesn't have to be, but I definitely don't want it to be leaking oil from there. So we're going to just pull that out. I'll clean up the gasket surface here really quick. Different rag. So we're just going to clean that up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to press in the new seal right now so we don't forget about it. So that seal is going to be replaced. Then we're going to use Hot Rod's water pump kit. This is for 92 to 01 CR 250s. But again, the concept is going to be very similar for pretty much all water pumps on a dirt bike. You're going to have two seals and a bearing. So let me figure out how to get this packaging open here. And we have two seals and a bearing, and then also our water pump gaskets here. So we're going to put those to the side, and what we're going to do is we're going to use our bearing seal kit. Now, if you notice, there's a cup side of the seal. This is going to always face your fluid. In this case, it's going to be coolant. So just remember, cup side towards the fluid, not the flat side. Cup side, flat side. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to pull this out. Carefully not to damage the case. So that's our one seal. Now we're going to leave that out, and the way that we're going to get the bearing and the other seal out is we're going to just use a socket and just tap it through. So you can grab a socket here that fits pretty well. So that one seems to be good. I'm going to grab my hammer, and we're just going to give some light taps. Then your bearing and your seal is going to pop out. Now again, notice the flat side was going to be on the inside. So this is going to be your oil seal. So cup side towards the oil. So when we put it back in, we're going to put the cup side facing inside of the engine. So we're going to take that. These usually press in by hand, so you don't even really need a tool to do it. So we're going to bottom that out. And I already pulled the shaft out, but I'll show you how to put that back in. Then we're going to take our bearing, and our bearing can just sit like this. Again, what I'm going to use is I'm just going to use a socket to hammer it in here. And these should go in pretty easy. You want to make sure it goes in evenly on each side. So I like to just work my way back and forth. And that looks to be in. Might need another tap, so we're just going to give it a little tap here. So that's in. So we've got our old seals, our old bearing, then we have our new seal. Remember, cup side towards the fluid that it's protecting. So that's going to be the coolant side. And we're just going to push it in there with our thumbs, nice and easy. And if you can't get it in there all the way, you can always go back and grab a socket and just tap it in. But ours is what I believe all the way in there. And it's not going to sit quite flush with the case on this side, so just make sure it's all the way in there. Then what I like to do is just take a little bit of oil and put it on the shaft here. Notice you have a washer on this side, so we're going to make sure not to lose that. I'm actually just going to put this back in the case where it came from to make it easier. Then you're going to take your shaft and just go ahead and slide it through. And that's it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to put your copper washer off. I took all of this off before I took the case off. That way the shaft is locked in place so that when I go to tighten the impeller down, it doesn't spin. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spin it on there by hand, and then I'm going to torque it down when I'm done. So there's that. Get rid of the old seals. Now obviously you can do this with the engine on the bike, but I have this engine out of the bike for a rebuild, so we're going to just do it off the bike like that. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your gasket. This one, the dowel pins are actually in the outer case, so we're just going to go ahead and pull it out. Looks like this one. It's going to be the front one, so that'll slide into there. And if you can see, this one's stuck. So what I'm going to do is just grab a pair of pliers here, and I'm going to very easily just try to twist it. If it doesn't come out, I'm not gonna fuss with it too much, because I don't want to damage it. And this one's not going to come out, so I'm just going to leave it, and we'll just set the gasket in here. And what I'll have to do is just make sure that the gasket is aligned with the dowel pin right here when I put the case on. So next, remember, we put our washer back in here. Also have a washer right here on top of the generator. And we're just going to slowly work our cover back on.